Alright guys and girls, welcome to another episode. Kind of cold out here. Episode of Astral Auto Repairs. Can you dig it? Alright, check it out. Behind me I got a 2003 Honda Accord, and what I'm going to do today is show you how to replace the front motor mount. That's right, coming up on Astral Auto Repairs. This channel is a member of the Astral Stars, which means we have a zero-tolerance policy against the harassment of others. Anybody who violates that policy will be banned. For further information, please visit www.theastralstars.com. Alright guys, first thing is safety. Safety is number one. The very first thing you want to do is jack up, take your hydraulic jack it up in the center of the vehicle. You got this metal bar right there, right? That's where you want to set your hydraulic jack at. Jack it up, and then put your jack stands up under the vehicle. And then we got a new name we're going to be calling things. Then you want to go out here and pull up your emergency brake. But from now on, we're not going to call that the emergency brake. We're going to call that the back brake. Yeah, buddy, the back brake. All right, now that we got that set up, next thing you want to do before we start, get you a block of wood. Do definitely use a block of wood or a piece of wood, nothing thin. 2x4 is the minimum thickness you want to use. Let me set my blanket up right here. And what you want to do here, hey, this thing got a little oil leak up under here. What you want to do is set it up on your hydraulic jack and set it right here at the edge of the transmission. You don't want to be up in the middle of it. You want to be up here toward the edge, because that's the part we're going to be picking up on the engine when we remove. What the heck is this? Is that a crack? Wait a minute here. I'm trying to see if this is a crack right here. No, it's not. Okay. Let's set this up right toward the edge. Put a little tension in, make sure I want to make sure this thing do not fall off. All right, put a little tension on it, pick it up just a little bit, and that's it. All right, let's go to the top and move on to the next step. We'll be back. All right, guys, first thing I'm gonna do is explain to you the mount location. When you go to ordering mounts, there's a mount up here in the front. I'll show you in a minute because this thing gotta get out the way. A mount up here. Even though this mount is on the left side of the engine, this mount is considered front. The front mount, because they're going by how it's set up inside the location of it inside the engine bay. This one over here is considered the front right side of the vehicle. Why they've got it front up there, I have no idea, but they call that the front right. There's one back here that's called the rear of the engine compartment. And then over here, instead of calling that the transmission mount, even though it's mounted to the transmission, they call that the front left. All right, so we're going to be doing the front motor mount right here. Now, to get to that mount, the first thing we're going to do is, here's our expansion tank right here. We're going to pull off a little hose, lean it to the side, and right inside here there is a 10mm bolt, and I'm going to use a 10mm socket, shallow, 1/4" drive with a 1/4" drive ratchet. And I'm going to get in there and I'm going to remove that bolt. All right, so let's remove that bolt and we'll be right back. All right, we got our bolt out and got a little protective shield here. Got that out. Take our expansion tank right up. There's a little tab right here that sticks right down into here right here. All right, let's get this out of the way, set this to the side, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, there's our mount right down there. Now, to get this mount out, we got to remove this cooling fan, and to remove the cooling fan, we got to get this hose out of the way. Now, what I'm going to do is something different here. I'm not sure if you guys are going to have anything like this, but I'm going to use my adapter set. This is for my evap machine for plugging up for leaks, to check for leaks. What I'm going to do, just so I don't lose a lot of antifreeze, I'm going to take this off, and then I'm going to try to find the right adapters to fit in there to plug off the radiator and plug off the hose. And I got a pan up under there because I know I will be losing some antifreeze. So let's get our pair of vice grips. And this clamp has a, I don't like these clamps. Let's squeeze this. Bring our hose back here. Clamp back here. Then let's squeeze, turn the hose. See how, there it is. Now if you didn't get that turned off, you take a screwdriver and stick it in there and carefully just break that seal loose. Now, let's get our adapters here and let's try to figure out which ones. And I would have to go between these three right here. Okay, let's try this. Okay, it might be even smaller. That sucked. Boy, that sucked too. Oh, that's perfect. There we go. Plug that one off. And now we got to get a little one just to go inside here. Dang it, this is the smallest. What the heck, man? Okay, that ain't gonna work. So let's try if we can get one to squeeze over it. No. There we go. Cool. We got that out of the way. And what I'm gonna do is just tuck this under this wiring harness over here, and just like that. That worked great. All right, the next thing we're gonna do.
You should mark those.
What do you mean?
Like what size hose is that? Do you know?
No.
Oh. Well then. Well, so I was gonna say, so next time you have the same size hose, then you know to use those two.
That would be nice if they marked them. I wonder if they sell kits to do this. All right, guys, let's get ready to get this fan out. We'll be right back. All right, guys, to get this fan out, we got 4 10mm bolts. Here's 2 at the top, and there's 2 right at the bottom. Now, 2 at the bottom is going to be difficult to get to. Now, you can take off the bottom splash shield and all, but I'm not going to do that. What you're going to do is take your same 10mm shallow socket, 1/4 inch drive with your 1/4 inch drive ratchet. You're going to reach your hand right through here, and let me see if I can get my finger on one of them. All right. You can see I got my wiggling my finger around. That's where one of them is located. Can you see that?
Just squeeze your finger.
All right, so, and usually these used to have a slot. Matter of fact, I think I feel it. Do not take this bolt out. Just loosen this bolt up, because the fan is going to slide right out of that bolt. So you don't have to take it out. Just loosen it up a lot. And then you're going to have to switch hands, and the other bolt is going to be on this side. Let me put my ratchet on it. And then at least you can get a location feel for where it's at. An idea. All right.
So it's on the other side of the motor? Side of the motor right there?
That's the side of the fan. All right, if you look straight down here, it's going to be right over here. And for this one, same thing goes. This one is a little bit more difficult to get to, so I think on this one I might use a deep 10. So let me see if I can use a deep 10. I'll be right back. All right, guys, I got my ratchet. I got my deep 10mm 1/4 inch drive, and you can see I got it on the bolt right now. So that's the location of that other bolt. So what I'm gonna go down here now is go to loosen this bolt up. And I'm not gonna take it out, just loosen it up. All right, let's do this and we'll be right back. All right, guys, what I'm showing you now, looking through the mirror, and you're seeing the connector for the fan. We gotta connect it off. Now you're gonna see a tab right there that we gotta squeeze that tab in towards the connector and unplug it. And I know when I do this, I'm gonna be in the way, so you're not gonna be able to see it. So, no, I am not gonna be able to get this. So. Alright, if you look right down here, guys, here's our connector. And what I did was just squeeze this tab in and unplug it from the fan. That's it. Alright, let's get that down. Let's move on to the next step. We'll be right back. Alright, guys, now for our final 2 bolts right here at the top. I'm going to use my 10mm 3/8 drive with my Big Bill ratchet. Let's get those 2 bolts out. 1 and 2, and we'll be right back. Alright, guys, we took our 2 bolts out. Fan is loose. Go ahead and get this thing out of here. Oh man, I forgot. See, now right now it's holding up on something. It's holding up on that wiring harness going to the fan. Has a little clip down here that's pushed in, that's squeezing into the fan, and that's all I have to do is pop it out. If it allows me to. It's like a Christmas tree kind of thing. Yeah, that's what they call it, Christmas tree clips.
Oh, that's what you meant, a Christmas tree thing.
And in fact, if you look right over here, down here, you'll see one of them. Look right straight down into there. And you see the wiring harness going into there. Look straight down there.
Okay.
Those clips just push right into the fan. And that's all you have to do is just pull them right out. And you can see I'm having a little difficult time with one of them. And let's see here. There's one. And then I got one more that you just seen on the other side. Now, if you can get a long screwdriver in there, that'd be even perfect. But this thing is not. Matter of fact, let me get a pry bar or something. Be right back. Alright guys, I got my long pry bar. I never had a long screwdriver like this long screwdriver. So I'm going to just use my pry bar right here. Get that in there. This out. As you can see.
I'm trying to get an angle of it.
You can see it?
No.
Let me just pop that out.
There's too much stuff and it's not focusing on
that. Dang, these things clips, man. Thought I had it right there. Thought I had it right there too. Alright, great. Alright guys, let's get our light out here and we'll be right back. Alright guys, we got that off. Just get over here and pull our fan out. And see, see how the slots on the bottom? That's why on the bottom you just have to loosen those 2 bolts up and it'll just pop right out of there. Alright, let's put this to the side and we'll be right back. Alright guys, now we're ready. We're at the mount. Now this mount is held on by 4 bolts right here, 14 millimeter bolts. And this little covering right here, you can move it to the side. You got one right here, one in the back, and then you got 2 on the other side. And what you're going to use is a 2-foot 3/8 drive extension with a 14 millimeter swivel socket and your 3/8 drive ratchet. And you're going to go in there. 1. I can tell it's a little tight. 2. Okay. Let's go this side. Number 3. And then the one that's difficult to get to. Let me get to this side so you can see better right there. Is number 4. Number 4 is way back over here, right by the.
No, but the light actually making this is shining. Yeah, we can see it.
Alright, and number 4. And look at what up here, guys. This is very important. I'm using one hand to brace the ratchet while the other hand is going to turn it. That way, because if I don't, it'll go up here, mess up the fan, or mess up the wiring, or something even worse. Alright, we got that. Now let's get all 4 bolts out of there. We'll be right back. Alright guys, we got all our bolts out. All bolts are the same size. I got 2 of them right here. The other 2 is kind of difficult to get to, so you might use a magnet. Go over there, especially the one way back here in the back, and take that out. Alright, now that we got all 4 bolts out, now you take your jack with your piece of wood and you jack the engine up just enough till you see that mount start moving. There it is, right there. So now our mount is loose. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to take up this 12-inch, half-inch drive extension with a little 1-inch wobble extension. Now what I mean by wobble extension is that you can see how it's made right there, like sticks out right about there. So when a socket goes on it, the socket can still move just enough. Great. And a 17 millimeter socket. And we got these 2 nuts right on the top. Then we're gonna get here and get us our half-inch drive ratchet. Half-inch drive air gun. And we're gonna go ahead and take those 2 off. 1. And there's 2. Now before I take this off, I want you to notice that, see how this bracket is? There's a little rounded part right here, and this side is flat. So we're going to remember the flat side goes towards the front of the vehicle when we go to put this back. All right, let's get those 2 nuts out, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, let's get our bracket off of here. Set that down to the side. Last but not least, we got a 14 millimeter bolt right there. So I'm going to use my 14 millimeter shallow 3/8 drive with my 3/8 drive air ratchet. And take that bolt right out. Be right back. Alright guys, we got the bolt out. Let's slide our mount out. Look at this, guys. Look at this one. This shot. Let's slide our mount out this way. Oops, what the heck? Oh man, this is an electric. This actually has a sensor going to it. Can you believe this mess right here? Alright, let's turn this back to the side so we can get this in there. Oh no, that's just connected to a hose. Hey, what the heck is going on here? Let's turn this upside down. It actually got a hose connected to it.
What is the hose for?
We'll find out. Let me get this stuff out of the way. This mount's all broken up anyway. Look at this. Oh man, this is because it's a hydraulic mount. If you look inside there, there's fluid all in there. But I'll tell you in a minute. Let me go get some. Be right back, guys. All right, guys. Had to get my needle nose vice grips. Cause being that this is a hydraulic mount, we're just getting this fluid. It smells like brake fluid or something. I don't know. I'm gonna crimp this hose off right here. Huh? Let me put it up there, and then I'll get out the way.
Okay, no.
All right, I'm gonna crimp that off, and then, matter of fact, let's go over here to the new mount. Sure. See a little brake piece right there. Mm-hmm. So what we got to do is now get our. Let me get some needle nose pliers that I had around here somewhere instead of these. Oh well, let's go down there and see if we can pull it off by hand.
Right there.
Oh, okay. And what I have to do here is get my hand, just in case we lose a little bit. And there we go. Let's take our mount up. And there it is, right? Whoops, look at this. This is power steering fluid. Let's get this over to the side. And power steering fluid or something inside here. Or transmission fluid. That kind of sucked. Alright guys, we'll be right back. Alright guys, here's our new mount. Let's lower it down in there. Let's connect our hose. Now, you guys, personally guys, I have no idea why they make a mount hydraulic. So if you guys know, be sure to let me know. Alright, got that connected. Let's get our vice grips off. And then let me reach down here. Make sure our hose is connected. And bring our mount into place. Whoops, wrong way. Turn that around the other way. Like that. Alright, the next thing I'm gonna do, guys. Oh, well, you know, guys, forgot one more thing. I'll put that in there. Let's get this little protective boot. So it's, I have no idea. So, oh yeah, remember when you putting this in? You see that little piece right there? Make sure that faces towards the engine. Alright, so let's get that covering over it. Dang it. Dang it. There we go. Alright, now let's set it up there into place. Alright, we're going to have to jack this engine up just a little bit. Wait a minute, let me get this thing over there. Over that right there. Jack it up just a little bit. Perfect. Alright, the next thing we do is before I put my bolts in through here, you know I am going to put my one bolt right through here. So we got this lined up. I'm not going to tighten it up though. Let me get this started. I'll be right back. Alright guys, we got that started. The next thing we're going to do before we tighten this up, we're going to get our 4 bolts in at the bottom. And how we're going to do this, we're going to use our 2-foot extension with our 14mm swivel. And you're going to take your piece of paper towel or something.
Make sure you cough first. Or it will not come out right.
Yeah. Put the paper towel right there. Just to hold the bolt into place. bring it down, and you can see the holes are not lining up right now, and I just got to push them out just a little bit just to get that started. What the heck? Alright, you definitely want, you see how I'm turning in by hand a little bit. Make sure that it's not cross-threaded. Alright, take it off. And we're going to do the same to the other 3. Put the paper towel on it. Keep it in place. And once you get one lined up, the other ones pretty much go right into place. Alright, let's get those in and we'll be right back. Alright guys, I got my last one in, and I'm going to leave my extension and socket right there because we're going to be tightening that one up first. The next thing I want to do is tighten this bolt up right here, which is the 14 millimeter, and I got it on my air ratchet. So let's tighten this up and we'll be right back. Alright guys, we got that tightened up. Then now we're going to go do our 4 14 millimeter bolts. So get your ratchet, start from this one, and I'm going to use my little butterfly air ratchet. I love this little thing. Put it right there. Once you tighten down one, lower down the engine. Done. So you don't put a lot of stress on that. All right, let's get the other 3 and tighten those up. We'll be right back. All right, guys, last but not least, we got our little bracket right here.
What's a bracket for? It just looks like it's just attached to the normal.
This bracket is actually to protect the other parts of your engine. Check this out. What this bracket does, let's go over here to the old mount. Got your old mount right here. And you can see where the mount breaks at, right here. This bracket is to stop this from going but so far. Without that bracket there, that engine would jump up, tear all the other motor mounts up, and do all sorts of damage. So it looks like they realized that, and they say, hey, you know what, let's add that little bracket in there just in case. So definitely make sure you put that back. Alright, so we put our bracket up there. We got our 2 17 millimeter nuts. And you notice I'm trying to do this by hand first, because you don't want to cross thread those. And then we put this on, and then we're going to tighten these up. We'll be right back. Alright guys, next thing we're going to do, I'll put our fan in. You can see our 2 10 millimeter bolts, 10 millimeter bolts, right here and right here. And they're all the way out. They're not all the way out completely, but they're just holding it about another couple threads. And here's our fan connector, and these are the connectors. I'll tell you, little pins, little tabs. We just push them into the side and we pulled out. Alright, so we're going to get the fan, lower it down. And make sure, get this thing in there. Yeah, of course, this thing gonna give me a little hard time over here. Alright, we gotta make sure that it's on those 2 bolts at the bottom. And a good way of doing this, line these 2 up here first. And now, I know I'm down there. I know I'm perfectly down on it. Let's get our 2 10 millimeter bolts and just hold this in just a little bit, just to keep it in place. All right, then we're gonna reach down there, take our electric fan connector right here. Let's reach over there, plug it in, and I'm trying to listen for it to snap into place. Dang it. If I can find the connector. There it is. Still, okay, let's see if I can hear it. Perfect. Got it snapped into place. Then I'm gonna go around and push our tabs back into the fan. That's one. And that's two. And then we'll go ahead and tighten up the 10mm bolts. We'll be right back. Alright guys, we're ready to put our expansion tank in, and we got our protective bracket. Now remember, you got this little piece down here at the bottom that's gonna go right into the fan right there. So once we get that down in there, oh, also I noticed you got this little slot right here. Well, the slot right here, that's what this fits in. So we gotta make sure both of them are in there. Great. Now get our protective bracket down there. And what I got here is my 10mm bolt, and I got a piece of tissue in there with a 10mm socket. So it's gonna help me start this off, start turning this. Okay. And let me see where I'll make sure I'm lined up to that. And I want to turn this in by a couple hands, by hand, before I use the ratchet. There we go. So now let's get my ratchet and we're gonna tighten that up. Be right back. All right guys, next thing we do, let's take our hose right here. Let's connect that, push that back on. And last but not least, get our upper radiator hose. Take the top cap off and slowly remove this one. Get that caught in there. Put that back on. Squeeze our clamp together. Let's release it. Done. Let's clean this up. Put a little more antifreeze in here, and we'll be right back.
Alright, so today we had a 2003 Honda Accord, and we showed you how to replace the front motor mount. If you guys have any comments or questions, you can post it below in the comment section, or you can email Timmy at tim@astralautorepairs.com. Hope you paid attention. If not, watch it again. This is Sylvia from Astral Auto Repairs. If we can't repair it, nobody can. See you next time.